Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be learning about trees, which is another very important data structure, and it is a prerequisite for you to be able to understand graph. Okay, so trees. Trees are basically the data structure which is used to represent hierarchical data. By hierarchical data, I mean a data which has got levels. For example, in any company, so we have a director. Below that there might be a sub director or deputy director. Below that there might be multiple managers or senior managers, and under those senior managers there would be managers, multiple managers again, and below that there would be other employees or the individual contributors who are part of that organization. So this is kind of a hierarchical data in which we have certain number of um, data points at a different level. So such kind of information cannot be stored in a normal linear data structure like arrays, stacks, queues. So we need a more complicated data structure for that, which is the trees. Now, in terms of the kind of trees we have, there can be multiple ways in which we are representing trees. Like one node can have multiple nodes on the next level and so on. So there are different type of trees that we generally use. A tree can have a single child, a tree can have two children, a tree can have three children at like one node can have three children at a point. So that is another type of tree, and one node can have similarly can have n number of children, so it could be 4, 5, 6 and so on. So some of these types have got name. For example, a tree having a node in which a node has got two children, so that's called a binary tree, and this is the most important tree that we use. Apart from that, node, if it has got three children, so it's called a ternary tree. Similarly, if we have any other if sometimes we have questions where we say a tree might have n children, so such trees are usually called as a n-ary tree. So in any question, if you say that you're given n-ary tree, so that just means that it's not defined how many children they have. So usually we take an array to represent the children of a particular node. So as I mentioned, binary tree is the most important category of trees that we need to learn. We look at the representation of how we represent a binary tree. So this is one sample binary tree that we have here. One is the root node. Since it's the node which starts the tree, it's at the top, so that's why it's called as a root. If we consider the complete tree from here, the complete tree, if we consider a subtree of it, so in that case 2, like if we consider only this part, 2 would be this root of the tree. So this is kind of a relative uh, terminology that we use, but in general the root node is the node which has got no parent. So that is what a no root node is. Then for every node it has got a left child and a right child. We are talking about binary tree over here, so please note that. So this is a left child, this is a right child, and if we talk about in terms of parents, so one is the parent of 2 and one is also the parent of 3. So depending on different kind of questions that we might have, this is the general way in which we represent a tree. We have for every node tree, every node would be having a left child and a right child. In some cases, in some complicated questions, we also might add a third link, which is a parent link, but it's not generally added. So a ternary tree would be one node having 3 childs. So this is a example of a ternary tree. After binary tree, there is a subclassification in the binary tree, which is binary search tree. The most important, uh, the most commonly used type of binary tree is the binary search tree. A lot of questions come on this, and it's the most common one. There's a specific characteristic on which binary search tree is built, which is the parent node value is greater than the left child value and it is smaller than the right child value. So this is how the structure gets formed. In general, when we were talking about binary trees, there is no such condition. So if there are numbers in a binary search tree, the only condition was that every node is supposed to contain the links to the left and the right child. But in this case, in order to comply by the rules of binary search tree, every node to the left of a node has to be smaller than this node, and every node to the right of this node has to be larger than. So you can observe the root node is 42, so all the nodes 32, 35, 40, 33 all are smaller than the root node, and so on for the right side. Also, it does not stands for the root node, it stands for every other node in the binary search tree. So if there is any node in this binary search tree which violates this condition, it will not be a binary search tree. For example, if I randomly pick 49, so every element on the left side of the node should be smaller than that, and every node on the right side should be larger than, which is being met over here. Similarly, if I'll take any other example like 32, every node which is 16, 14, 27 is smaller than 32, and all the nodes to the right, that is 35, 33, 40 are larger than the parent node. So this satisfies the condition of a binary search tree. Another way to represent it is this, that root dot value is greater than left child dot value, and similarly it's smaller than the right child's value. So there are four basic things that we will learn for the binary search tree. First is the traversal. Then we learn how do we search inside a binary search tree. Then we'll learn about how to insert a node in the binary search tree, and then we'll move to deletion of a node in a binary search tree. So if this is a simple tree given, there are three type of traversals that we have. These are basically three basic type of traversals. There's a third type of traversal also, which we'll learn about in another video, which is level order traversal. These three are in order, pre-order, post-order traversal. These basically follow depth first search model, where we traverse through one side of the node to find all the nodes and then move to the right side. In all the three traversals, this is what we follow. These are DFS based traversals. The next one, the fourth one that I am talking about, that's level order traversal, that follows BFS. So we will be talking about it in another video. These are the three DFS based traversals. The first we have to talk about is in order. So to remember all of these, there's a very basic difference. So when we talk about in order, we are talking in terms of where the parent node would be present in respect to the left and the right. So when it says in, the parent node, the root node would be in between left and the right. This is being talked about in terms when we are traversal. Basically means we are moving from one node to another, to the third to fourth, so on. So when we talk about in order traversal, so the condition is, firstly we'll traverse the left child, then we'll traverse the parent node, and then we'll traverse the right child. So if in case we print it in a way, so 24 would always come after 19, which is the left side, and it would come before the right child, which is 29. Similarly, pre-order and post-order. So in pre-order, parent child would come first, and then the left child, and then the right child. And similarly for post-order, parent node would be traversed at the last. So first would be left child, then the right child, and then the parent. So this is a small hack to remember all the three traversals. In order, parent node comes in between left and right. In pre-order, it comes before left and right, and in post-order, it comes after left and right.